Welcome back, Trades Career students. It's Ms. Clem, and we are going to uh, work through the February bank reconciliation. Before we get there, let's figure out what we did in January. In theory, we started with our checking project. We started looking at transactions. We recorded a deposit, we wrote a check, wrote another check, got a debit card, started making some payments. And we kept track of that on the paper copy, but as we did that, that got to be a little challenging. Reading our own handwriting was a little tough. So we decided to, second day, go ahead and record all our transactions electronically. So we went to a spreadsheet and we kept track of everything we did here this month, right? So we've got our transaction, our date, what happened. Some of you got a category, some of you don't. I don't know that I'd worry about it at this stage. Money going out, money going in. Wrote a formula to calculate our balance. Take the old balance minus any payments plus any deposits. We went through and noticed that we did all this stuff. We know what we know. This is our point of view. We then go back here and look at what the bank knows. And over here, all of this is what the bank knows. The bank thinks this is our account summary. The bank thinks we did these checks and these deposits. The bank thinks we did other account activity like, say, debit cards, ATMs, and eventually online payments, transfers. All of that's over here, right? So there's kind of three chunks information from the bank's point of view, and there's our one chunk information from our point of view. We know what we know, so we went through in January and looked at every transaction one by one. We looked at this deposit, and we found it right there. We looked at this $35.24 payment for check 101, and it's right there. Each time we find it, we're putting an X saying, yeah, that transaction happened. As we kept going, we noticed that check 102 for 24 bucks, it's not there. We're not really sure why, but it's not there. Same thing with check 104, 105, and then this last deposit. So as we go through, we start marking off all the things that the bank shows, and it matches what we show. At the end, from our point of view, the one thing we still have sitting out there is we've got a service charge. We didn't know about that until the bank told us about it. The bank just took $5 out of our account. So we've got to come back here and record the service charge for $5. And once we've done that, we've updated our point of view. We've got a balance of $345.24. We then go work through the bank's point of view. And the bank thinks we started with zero, dropped in $700, spent $275. The bank thinks we have $440.99 in our account. Well, we think we've got a different balance. We've got to work through the transactions that we know we did, but the bank hasn't recorded them yet. Now, again, this is old school, 1950s, no internet. Things take a little bit more time than in the modern world. So we think we've got $440.99. We noticed there was one deposit we made that didn't make it to the bank, so we go ahead and throw that in the outstanding deposits. Deposits not shown on the statement. Add those two together, and we get $1133.36. We also made three payments, right? 4 total transactions, but 3 payments that the bank didn't record. So we go ahead and record those outstanding checks, debits, or transfers. We spent a total of $788. We knew we did that. The bank didn't. It didn't show up that the bank knew about those transactions. So we take the $1,100, we subtract the $788, and we get an adjusted balance of $345.24. That's the same adjusted balance, $345.24. So now we feel good. We go ahead and move on, and we started doing transactions in the month of February. We've got an online checking account. We make some online bill payments. We go ahead and spend money with a debit card, and we just kind of keep plugging away. We record 2 deposits here and make some payments. So the month of February has happened, and now we're here. We've got the bank statement that shows up saying this is what the bank thinks we've got going on. We go back to our transactions and we go look and say, well, here's what we think we have going on. We think we're sitting here at $206.76. The bank thinks we're at $750. Those two numbers are significantly different. So we're going to have to figure out what transactions between here and here match up with what we got going on. We may have to go backwards and figure out some transactions that we thought were missing and now did show up in the next month. And are there any of these transactions that the bank hasn't recorded yet? So we're going to knock them out one by one. The bank thought we had a beginning balance of $440.99. They thought we made $1,400 in deposits. Well, we only made a $759 deposit, so it must be taking into account stuff that was missing last month. It thinks we spent about $1,100. Well, we spent a little bit less than that this month, so they must be dealing with some transactions back here as well. So let's start with our point of view. And in our point of view, our first transaction is an online payment on February 3rd for $108. We know we did it. Do we see an online transaction over here for $108? We do. Right there. So go ahead and mark that one off. Come back here and mark that one off. Next one is a debit card for $91.40. From our point of view first, bank's point of view second. $91.40. Next was an online transaction, National Electric Company, but look at the number, $32.81. National Electric Company, $32.81. Next up, we've got check 106 for $64.14. I look in my check numbers and I don't see check 106. I've got some old checks, like 102, 104, 105. Those were all from last month, so we'll have to deal with those. But I'm going to deal with this month first. So I don't know what happened to check 106. It didn't make it to the bank yet. I'm going to go ahead and color that one up. I'm just going orange for this one just so we can see things a little different. Next up is a deposit, $759.52. There it is, $759.52. We've got a $60 bill for check 107 to the dentist. There's check 107 for $60 to the dentist. We've got an ATM for $50. That one shows up right there, ATM $50. Now, we've got a rent payment for $450. And we did it at the end of February. If we come back here, you go, oh, look, there's a $450 payment. Well, but that $450 payment went on February 1st. There's no way this February 25th payment is this one here on February 1st. That's not possible. The other part is this one was done with an online bill pay, right? You go to the internet and pay your bill. This one is really check 105. So we've got some transactions over here that we did back in January. We don't know why it took them till February to clear the bank, but it did. So we're going to go back and we're going to mark off these 4 transactions. They just have to go back to January. So I'm going to swing back here and say check 102 for $24. Right there. Done. Deposit for $692.37. Right there. Done. Check 105 for $450. Right there. Done. And check 104 for $314. Done. Now, in theory, the place we mailed this check 102, $24, if it's still sitting out there, second month, third month, fourth month, it's going to keep being outstanding. Not outstanding like, yay, but outstanding like we don't know where it is. We don't know why it had cleared the bank. It could be outstanding for 4, 5, 6 months. Okay, after 6 months, the check probably becomes worthless. But each time you go through, you got to look at all the payments you made and see what did not clear the bank. So we've got this check for $67. We've got this online payment for $450. And we've got this online payment for $38.65. It's for Verizon, right? But notice, it's not this number up here, right? So again, according to our point of view, we cleared up all of our January stuff, right? All our old outstanding January stuff. Now we've got 3 outstanding payments here in February. We don't have any outstanding deposits. The one thing we still have to deal with from our point of view, again, is this service charge. They went ahead and took $5 from us. So we're going to have to go down here and type in service charge, $228. Service charge, bank, $5. We know about it because the bank told us, so we're going ahead and mark that off and put a check mark there. Here is our adjusted balance, what we think is supposed to be sitting in our checkbook after all the things have cleared and after a service charge. We're at $201.76. The bank is at $757, right? But we've got 3 payments here that we know we made them. The bank hasn't recorded them yet. So let's run through the process. Ending balance on statement. Well, the bank thinks I've got that number right there, $757.55. Step 2, are there any deposits missing? Nope, that deposit is counted for, that deposit's counted for, that deposit's counted for. So I've got no outstanding deposits. That 757 number is going to go down here to step 3. 757.55. Are there any outstanding payments? Are there monies that we spent, but the bank didn't record them yet? Yeah, check 106. It's sitting out in somebody's office somewhere. We don't know where or why, but it's sitting there. It didn't go through the check clearing process to their bank, to the nearest Fed Reserve, back to our bank. Colonial Apartments and Verizon, again, these are really close to the end of the month. More likelihood that these would be the ones outstanding, right? It takes time to transfer this stuff, but we've got 3 payments that are outstanding, so let's go ahead and record them. 67.14, 450, and 38.65. Add those up. According to my math, we made a total of $555.79 worth of payments. We know we did them here, but the bank doesn't show that we did them, right? Those are outstanding payments. Take the bank's balance, subtract our adjustment, and we get 201.76. When this adjusted balance here matches this adjusted balance here, we feel like we're pretty solid. At this stage, bring this back to Mr. Clem so that he can look and see that you've done your adjusted balance correctly and it matches your electronic checkbook. I'll sign off on it, and then you'll go ahead and work on to the next month.